Hello! I thought I would make a video because I got PS4 Pro! Woo! And that is the right reaction to have. Some of you guys actually online were asking about kind of size comparisons as well, so I'm gonna do a little bit of everything for you. What I've realised is it's really hard to unbox things with one hand, so I might have to just do it in stages. Look at that sexy product shot with like a bunch of stuff underneath my sofa and a chair in the kitchen. Ooh, attention to detail. She's amazing at stuff. One of the things I really struggled with actually was just like it was before, figuring out the bloomin' on switch. Because it was madness. It's here. Can you see it's tiny, tiny, tiny. And checked and you got obviously a couple USB ports down here. I really like the design. I think it's really cool. You've got everything at the back there. So that's cool. One of the main things to note, and I think I'm gonna say at the very, very start of this video, is that if you're thinking of buying an Xbox One S or a PS4 Pro, make sure you've got a 4K TV, but not just any old 4K TV, it has to be 4K HDR. Now on the Xbox website, they've actually in the support section, they've got a list of all the compatible TV manufacturers, so you can literally just go through that and pick from that list. I have basically picked one from that list. That's how I chose my new TV. And this one works perfectly with PS4 Pro as well. A couple of other little things to note is that don't freak out when you turn on your PS4 Pro and it says, oh, your TV is not HDR compatible and it's really early in the morning and you've just been transferring loads of data and you just like nearly lose your shit because you spent ages picking this TV and then it's suddenly the wrong one. It's not. You need to make sure you are using the HDMI cable, which is 2.0, which comes in the box with the PS4 Pro, because otherwise it doesn't realize that that's what your TV is doing. Yeah, and it's like, no, it won't work. I nearly, honestly, freaked the hell out. I spent ages like meticulously picking my television and I was like, this is not fair. The other thing as well, the particular TV that I've got is an LG one, and it basically comes with 3 HDMI ports, and what's actually really cool about it is the fact that you can actually turn on and off the HDR settings for the specific HDMI ports, which is great because you know what, I'm still going to be using my old consoles and different stuff like that, and I want to be able to like have it switched on and maybe not switched on for different instances. And I hate having to do everything and flick between it. So that's fine, you can actually assign it to different HDMI ports on the back of the TV, which is quite good. I'm being dappled in sunlight. Look at me, I'm so dappling. Oh, the sunlight. Oh, see, everyone's excited I've got a PS4 Pro. Right, okay, let's go and have a look at the setup. So excuse the mess, because I just kind of pulled all the cables out just so I could get it set up and transfer all my data. Actually, one of the things I wanted to talk about was transferring the data. So I have terrible, terrible internet connection. And it's really easy to transfer the data. They basically, the PS4s basically recognize each other and say, would you like to transfer your data? I will initialize this PS4. And you're like, yeah, okay. And I was like, oh, just transfer all of it over. That's got to be quicker than re-downloading all of the games off the internet, right? Wrong, 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 wrong. And so much worse. Now, the guy I know from Sony, he managed to do about 400 gig in maybe 90 minutes. Mine was like 10 hours. It was like 10 hours gonna be doing this thing. And I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it on. Let's set in the background and I can play it later. What I should have done, in hindsight, when what happened was 8 hours into it, someone touched somewhere near the back of the television, and I'll show you the cabling later, kind of messy, and just took out the Wii U remote, control pad, and just somehow knocked the Ethernet cable, because all my longest Ethernet cables are a bit rubbish and broken. So it stopped the transfer of all the data, and then I was like, oh, that's okay, it'll just pick up where it left off. No, it won't. I had to start the whole thing all over again, and I was like, I'm not risking this. So basically, top tip, if you're gonna transfer the data, just transfer all of your account information and game saves, and like maybe one game if you can be bothered. transfer all that over because that will happen really, really quickly, and then it's like set up and you're like logged in as you and da-da-da-da. Because if it breaks through the transfer, you have to keep reinitializing, like keep re-logging in as you to the PlayStation, and oh my God, will to live will vanish. So do that, transfer it over, get it set up, and then just re-download the games. Because frankly, it just, yeah, it was much, much quicker. And then obviously I can just set it up going and do other stuff, and it's not gonna freak out. PS4 Pro. Don't look behind me, it's really messy. Sort of. Hey, can you see over there? They are oven gloves that make you look like Dr. Zoidberg. Everyone should have them, amazing. Right, I definitely need more light over here, I look weird. Okay, so, why don't we do a size comparison between them? Because I think you guys would like to see that. Don't fall down the back. No, cable! Don't fall down the back. So here was the other thing. Actually, someone online asked me about a size comparison, and not compared to just the PS4 normal one, old one, but to the Xbox One S. This is how silly my life is. And they said, can you do a size comparison between the two? And I said, well, I would really love to, but like Microsoft never sent me one. Hint. Kidding, 100% kidding. I didn't at Microsoft or send, it was like on Twitter, I didn't say any of these things. But then a bunch of people just forwarded it on to Microsoft, and they were like, what are you doing? Do you lose work for you loads? Send her one. So guess what turned up in the post? A day later. Sorry, that picture's better. A freaking Xbox One S. I don't know, if I knew I could just tweet about things and get things sent to my house, I would have sent way more tweets than one offhanded sub-tweet moaning about something. God, I didn't know I had that power. Ooh, sorry, it's a bit weirdly sexual. It is a bit weirdly sexual, though. Okay, right. So I know you guys have obviously seen all this before, but this is my first one. So it's bags smaller, very pretty, very lovely. I do love an abundance of ports. Look how many there are. I could do anything with this, anything. I mean, mainly TV, game and media related, but I saw that 80s movie Weird Science. I feel like there's enough ports here to manufacture Kelly LeBrock, or whatever her name was. So let's do a size comparison between the PS4. You know what, I'm gonna unplug my Xbox One as well, so we get a full, all of them size comparison, because I think that'll be really useful. The key to any happy home is labeling all your plug sockets. That's really sad. And then this, sorry, that's the PS4 Pro, and then this is the normal PS4. Sorry, for some reason buses sound like they're going to explode your brain where I live. Okay, so if we put these together for a little bit of size comparison. So there's not quite the same amount of difference between Xbox One or Xbox One S, but I suppose we're not really supposed to assume that, because this is the Pro, like we, you know, this isn't Scorpio or whatever. But, you know, comparable, slightly bigger. Let's compare now to the Xbox One S, shall we? Just so we've got to see. I mean, these aren't really comparable in terms of what they do, but I think just for people's ideas on size, it's kind of quite interesting just to look at them. Just if, like, for you guys who are wondering what the difference was. So, yeah. And then, of course, Xbox One versus PS4. Wow. I mean, God, you really forget what a, you know, what a beast the original Xbox One was. I mean, it's huge. So yeah, quite varying in size there. HDMI ultra high definition deep color, right? So if I click on that, so I'm gonna switch these around now because I'm gonna do this a slightly different way. What I'm going to do basically is I'm going to set up HDR for the Xbox One S and the PS4 Pro, so they will have separate HDMI dedicated ins that are HDR ready and all turned on, etc, etc. And then the third one I'm going to just save for all my old consoles, so like my Xbox 360, my old PS4, like my Wii U. And what I'll do is I'll run one HDMI cable in there, and then I'll run it to a hub so I can just like link them all up via that one HDMI port in the back of the TV. And what it does is the hub will auto detect where the signal's coming from and just switch between them. So I mean, that's something you can do obviously if you only got like a few HDMI ports in the back of your TV. That's what I do. And you have it all set up, all ready to go. Time for some HDR 4K gaming action. Whee! Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my video, found it moderately informative. I am going to go and finish off some cabling. It's a Saturday, what am I doing? Anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, maybe I'll do some more random things. Don't look at the mess behind me, stop it. I saw you looking. What's that over there? It's just rubbish. Rubbish. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all completely finished and tidy.